Okay, now as I was saying about the sex change thing, here's the situation with that. God understands. If a person wishes to change their gender, that is their own business. That's between them and God. He's not going to send them to hell for doing that. Because here's the thing, God is not like mankind. Mankind only sees what mankind wants to see or doesn't want to see. If a person gets a sex change, there's an intimate reason deep on the inside for why they're doing that. Maybe they feel like as a woman, I'm more attached to my masculine side, so I want to be a guy. So maybe they might try to dress like a dude or get the whole sex change and be a guy. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. That doesn't mean they got a bad heart. They just want to be a dude. Who are you to tell them they can't? If God ain't saying you can't do that, who is anyone on earth to say they can't do that? That's their decision. That's between them and God. As long as they can handle the backlash from humanity. And let me tell you this, and I'm gonna make this point. Doing stuff like that teaches you who really cares about you and who really understands you as a person. And will they judge you for what you did, or will they stand by you and say, well, this person wanted to be this way, this is their life? Either accept it, respect it, or just leave them alone. That just shows you who really cares about you in this life. Even though they might not understand what you chose to do to your body, they love you enough to understand that it's your decision and it's your body. And at the end of the day, you have to be the one to take the hate and the criticism and the bashing and stuff for it. But if they love you enough, they'll stand by you and be like, hey, this is this person's choice to be able to do what they want to do. It's their body. They can do what they want. Just like a woman should be allowed to say whether or not she keeps a baby or, takes it out of the world. I mean, I'm just saying, I'd rather you just keep the baby, and if you can't take care of it, then give it to someone who can. But that's your decision. Other thing, a guy who wants to be a woman. Okay, here's the thing. Maybe he feels more in touch with his feminine side, so maybe he might turn gay. I mean, are you gonna still love him, or are you gonna judge him and just throw him to the wayside? God wouldn't do that, so I don't understand people. But anyway, or he might get a full sex change and become a woman because maybe he feels like he was put in the wrong body. God's not gonna send him to hell for doing that. Like I said, God sees things through wisdom and understanding. Mankind sees stuff through sinner, sinner. Someone always got to point out someone else's flaws just so one person can be better than someone else somehow. Here's the thing, just because someone does that to their body does not make them a bad person. God's going to accept them no matter how they choose to be. Only thing he wants to know is your heart still right? Is your mind still right? Are you spiritually still right? Do you still have a good heart? Do you still got a good mind? Is your spirit still right? Because as I said again, that form that you change is going to the ground when you pass. Your spirit's going back to God. So at the end of the day, God knows who he made you to be. The spirit of the person don't change, just the form does. That's why it's always taught. If you're gonna fall in love with someone, make sure you fall in love with them for who they are, not how they look or for what they have, because eventually everyone's genetics are not made to last. So some people might look like ugh when they get older, but their personality might still be beautiful. Some people might be ugly on the outside, but beautiful on the inside. Some people might be beautiful on the inside, but ugly on the outside. Some people might be beautiful outward and inward. Some people might be ugly outward and inward. But are you willing to accept a person for who they are? Next thing, just to put it in the drive this in a deeper perspective. When I say God sees things through wisdom and understanding, what I mean is if you chose to change your gender, he sees in your mind and in your heart why you chose to do it. He understands you feel like, well, maybe I was put in the wrong body. I feel more, as a guy, I feel closer to my womanly side, so I want to be a woman, or I might want to be gay. Or if I'm a woman, I feel closer to my masculine side. I might want to be a dude or get a chance, or dress like a guy, or get a sex change to be a dude. God understands that. Even the Bible tells you God knows your thoughts, He knows your ways, He knows you better than you know yourself. So He already knew you were going to do it before you did it. And if He wasn't okay with it, He would have found some way to make it so it didn't happen. So obviously He's not mad. And plus, this is just a way to teach people. You claim that you accept people for who they are. Do you really? You claim you love people despite their decisions in life, and you accept them. Do you really? Because if there's one thing about Jesus, He don't like people talking. He likes to see you walk and talk, not just talk. Other parts of this is the true reason why a lot of people don't talk to God. Here's a couple things. One, they might not like the answer. Two, the answer might not come when they want it. Three, the answer might not come the way they want it. Or four, they might be doing something that might cause them to be deaf to His ear or to His, voice. Let's just break it down this way. There's a lot of people that don't talk to God because they don't trust what they're asking Him is going to happen, period. Or they don't trust their ability to be able to handle whatever He tells you. Because people think when you ask God something, He's just going to tell you everything good, right? No. If you ask God something, He's going to tell you some things that's going to hurt your feelings to make you better, and some things that are going to make you happy. God's not always going to tell you what you want to hear, so a lot of the time He's going to tell you what you need to hear. Just so you understand, man. And then there's a lot of people that want to ask God, like, why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? He's like, wasn't your time, wasn't meant for you. I don't allow certain things because they're not meant for you. I allow things because they're meant for you. If something takes a long time, I'm preparing it to be yours or y'all's or whatever. I'm preparing you for it and it for you. Might take a while depending on the person and their lifestyle. But yeah, that's why I feel a lot of people don't talk to God because they're afraid, what if He doesn't tell me what I want to hear? What if what I ask for don't come to me? Or what if what I ask for don't come to me the way I want it to? And most importantly, when you talk to God about stuff, are you lying to Him and yourself? Meaning, when you ask God certain things, are you okay with Him telling you most of what's wrong with your life is because of you not fixing whatever you need to fix? Or whatever's wrong with the people around you might have something to do with something you did. Would you be cool with Him telling you that? And then you talk to Him about your life and He already knows about the stuff you deal with. But He's not going to force you to say nothing about it because that's not who He is or what He does. So honestly, if you really want to talk to God, can you handle the truth of yourself and other people around you? Because that's pretty much who God is. He's the truth and the reality of who you are as a person. You look in His eyes, you see who you really are versus who you want to be. So yeah, I know. But if you want to talk to God, just understand, you ain't got to pray. Just sit here and talk like you talk to a regular person on the street corner. You ain't got to have no perfect way of doing it or no scriptural way of doing it. Just talk to Him. He's your Father. Oh yeah. And if you have to yell and scream and get upset with God before you actually talk to Him, He understands because He knows that's a connection. It might not be the way you want it to be, but it's a start because God understands. Anger has to come before understanding. So He has to allow you to get angry, cuss at Him, scream at Him, yell at Him, call Him whatever names. Then eventually you calm down, talk to Him about your problems. He don't mind if you do that. It's what it is. But anyway, if you want to talk to God, just talk to Him like you talk to people you trust. And trust He hears you. He'll answer you. Just understand. since you're on a planet that's both hell and heaven, good and bad, right and wrong, just because God wants to answer you does not mean he's going to always just be able to do it, because there's an entity named Lucifer that'll sometimes stop what he's trying to do. And yes, Lucifer is allowed to do that. As long as you're on this planet, God is allowed to assist you, but Lucifer is allowed to distract you. God's allowed to make you, while Lucifer is allowed to break you. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You have to decide who you believe in and who you follow. And there's a lot of people on this earth that think because they're an atheist or something that they don't follow anyone. Well, let me explain it to you. If you do good, you're doing the work of God. If you do evil, you're doing the work of Satan. You can't live this life and not serve somebody. Even if you think you're not serving someone, you are. Because evil runs off of the devil. Good runs off of God. So if you do good, you're following him without knowing it. You're doing evil, you're walking with him without knowing it. I'm out.